أورغيها أن يغدغ الدنيا يدور هن يغاهيني الشامل بس وهذا السبب كل ولي فلس
فايا بي جيرسو جان دومني فانا كاغل فمبي كاغل
On today's Enlightening Entertainment, we present excerpts from the insightful environmental documentary Climate Chaos in the South, The Victim's Story, directed by the gifted and caring filmmaker Meneer Heert de Belder from Belgium. The film presents the heartrending reality of people to whom climate change impacts are real and now. It has been praised for its unique way of highlighting the human side of the story.
And it's the poor people of the world who are particularly vulnerable to the effects of the weather.
You don't just emit carbon dioxide into the air, you lose livelihoods for the poor.
Regarding the film, Tanika Dahaza, a photographer for Oxfam, commented, "The testimonies force you to take it seriously. The situation is clearly shocking even without showing pictures of catastrophes." Dirk Hendricks from the Belgian newspaper Gazet van Antwerpen wrote, "A film for all who still doubt and for those who want to see the damages of climate change, with clarifications by experts and testimonies and pictures leaving a lasting impression. Highly recommended."
Maybe in the developed countries you are just reading the books and looking at the television and seeing what will happen, but it is already happened.
When we had the idea of making the movie on the impact of climate change on the people in the South, we didn't actually realize the whole problem. I went to a conference on the climate change and especially the impact on the South, and I was shocked on this conference to notice how large the problem was, how big the impact already was and was going to be. I didn't know that before.
Around 3 billion people living in developing countries are facing immediate and most severe human costs due to climate change. As the film shows, these vulnerable communities are often helpless to adapt or to prevent the crisis.
The idea of the movie was to confront people in the North with the victims of the so-called civilization. I could only hope that people who were confronted with a real face behind a fact or a figure, that they would be moved by hearing this story and hopefully change their lifestyle.
Meneer de Belder's documentary was made in collaboration with more than 10 non-governmental organizations, or NGOs, who helped him meet the climate change victims who were willing to share their stories. The making of the film led to a journey to 4 of the worst-hit countries: Burkina Faso and Togo in Africa, Ecuador in South America, and Bangladesh in Asia. They testify to the fast increasing havoc that they face daily as a result of climate change.
Está en anormal, porque estamos viviendo una sequía que no es normal, porque estamos todavía en épocas de meses de lluvia. Hasta mayo se extiende en los inviernos normales la lluvia, así que ahora estuvieron en plena producción. Este maizal que ustedes pueden ver aquí debería estar ya con la mazorca, ¿no es cierto?, de maíz ya formada, pero pues se dan cuenta que está ya perdido, está perdido. Y de estos se multiplican miles y miles de agricultores sobre este mismo fenómeno, ¿no?
We wanted to have these particular stories to make the facts into persons and into real experiences. Many of the farmers we interviewed, they didn't know about climate change. Yes, they did know, of course. They knew climate had been changing since a few decennia, but they had absolutely no idea where it was coming from, or that it was a global phenomenon.
Director Geert de Belder knew that it was also important to present not only the individual's personal stories, but also a larger and objective perspective. Thus, he interviewed a number of prominent climate experts, such as British climate expert Lord Nicholas Stern and French glaciologist Bernard Francoux.
Most of the experts are people in the south, experts from NGOs, from the government, from the United Nations. From the north, the experts give the large scale of climate change and its impact, things which the victims don't know. We needed the experts to make the spectators clear that things are happening on a large scale.
Le nombre de victimes potentielles ou de personnes affectées en tout cas par l'effet des changements climatiques sur les ressources en eau par exemple se chiffre en centaines de millions, peut-être 1 milliard de personnes qui risquent d'être affectées dans leur vie quotidienne, dans la qualité et la quantité de l'eau disponible.
When we return, we'll find out more about the awakening documentary, Climate Chaos in the South, The Victim's Story, through candid comments from the director Meneer Geert de Belder. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television.